Ethiopia is one of the oldest known locations of human existence. The history and evolution of this country is an African story of struggle for freedom, equality, development, and dignity. Standing tall, it carries the history of a vibrant society and the pride of African resistance. Once a reference for poverty, deprivation, and international charity, the contemporary narrative of Ethiopia is that of hope, self-reliance, resilience, and indeed the new spirit of Africa. Saddled in a turbulent neighborhood and serious development challenges, Ethiopia has managed one of the great escapes from poverty. For over 2 decades, the government of Ethiopia has pulled a significant portion of its population out of poverty. According to the 2013 UNDP Human Development Report, Ethiopia is the 3rd fastest country to improve the life of its people. The story of the transformation of this country is that of a strong commitment by its people and government to democratic governance, not just as a shared value, but also as a means to securing the Ethiopian Renaissance. A democratic, stable, and resilient Ethiopia is important for Africa. Set against this backdrop, the Democratic Institution Program, DIP, is a partnership to realize this dream.
DIP is a multi-donor program to support democratic institutions, which is administered by UNDP. It brings a lot of donors together to support key democracy-related, accountability-related institutions in Ethiopia.
Managed by UNDP, the DIP is a partnership between the government of Ethiopia and development partners to strengthen the capacity of key democratic institutions, which together contribute towards deepening and consolidating democratic governance in the country. The program seeks to enhance the capacity, human rights, accountability, and responsiveness to the development aspirations of Ethiopians.
But to be able to achieve this vision, it's absolutely important that political stability prevails in Ethiopia. And in addition to political stability, it is important that Ethiopia continues to grow at a very robust rate. As you know, presently, Ethiopia has been growing about 10% per year, and it's important that this growth trend is sustained, to enable Ethiopia to achieve the bold ambition that it has set itself.
Access to and scrutiny of government actions have increased as a result of improved capacities of democratic institutions. The DIP has been critical to implementing Ethiopia's human rights agenda and commitments. Through the support of DIP, government was able to elaborate on a clear cause of action, the National Human Rights Action Plan, and the capacity of the Ethiopian Human Rights Commission has been increased to address issues around property rights, the integrity of elections, as well as ensure access to justice.
I think DIP enabled us to do what we are doing, in fact, in a more concrete way. We get support from the government, but that support is not sufficient to undertake our programs. People should not be deprived of the right to justice because they are poor. That is terribly bad thing. So what we are doing is, we are providing service free, and our motto is everybody must get free justice, whether he is poor or rich, equal justice.
The achievements that have been secured in the realm of human rights have not just emboldened the Ethiopian Human Rights Commission, it has brought positive change to the well-being of some Ethiopians. More citizens now have access to justice through the legal aid centers established through the support of the DIP. The free legal aid service is operated in areas where human rights abuse could highly happen, like in prison. A new and more equitable formula for federal budget subsidy allocation to regional states has been developed through a highly participatory and transparent process. The various regional states expressed satisfaction with the new formula as responding to fairness, equity, and solidarity. The allocation to SNNP is reduced by 0.29 from and 0.08 from Benshangul Gums. The budget for Harare is increased by 0.04 and 0.21 for Oromia, 0.08 for Afar, and 0.04 for Gambela. As a result of the revised grant-sharing formula, many regional states have improved the delivery of basic services, especially in the areas of water, education, and healthcare, from a coverage of 12,000 people under the old formula to 25,000.
ከተማ ውስጥ ምንም ሆስፒታል የለንም። ባህር ዳር እየሄድን ነው የምንረዳ እና ሆስፒታል ጥያቄያችን የበፊት ነበር ምላሽ ሳያገኝ ቆይቷል። አሁን ላይ ምላሽ አግኝቷል። አንድ ጤና ጣቢያ ብቻ ነው ያለ። ለሞትም መንገድ ላይ ይደረጋል። በተለይ ወሊድን ይዘን ስነደ መንገድ የመሞት እድል ያጋጥማታል። አሁን ላይ ግን ከፍተኛ ለውጥ እናመጣለን ብለን እየሰራን ያለንበት ሂደት ነው ያለ። ነገር ግን መንግስት ምላሽ ያገኘበት ቋሚ ኮሚቴውም እየተከታተለው በጥሩ ሁኔታ በተለይ በሆስፒታሉ ግንባታ ላይ ህብረተሰቡ በጣም ደስተኛ ነው። በቃ አሁን ያልቃል የሚል ተስፋ አለን። በቃ ተስፋችን በጣም ትልቅ ነው። በመንግስታችን ላይም እምነት ያሳደረ ህብረተሰብ ነው ያለበት።
The democratic institutions' partnership with governmental and non-governmental organizations has tremendously increased, recognizing that all elements within the society need to contribute to sustain democratic governance in the country. The DIP is funded by 13 development partners.
80% of the money financing the DIP is coming from either EU as an institution, EU delegation, or from EU member states. That's the first element. Then, if you look also at our agenda for change, at our also EU, what we call our EU values, obviously all member states are fully on board, and the agenda for change is not also a Bible for development cooperation for EU institutions, but for EU institutions and EU member states. It was approved by the EU Council, so everybody is behind that within the EU family.
In shaping the future path for democratic governance and optimizing support thereof, focused attention should be on continuous capacity development of democratic institutions, but with increased investment to ensure wider coordination, improved governance processes and systems to strengthen inclusive participation, transparent and accountable governance.
A coordinated approach actually sits within the spirit and the context of the Paris Declaration, of the Accra Declaration, and also the Busan Declaration on aid effectiveness and development effectiveness.